What's up, Alexis?
Hey there. Oh my gosh, this is so
Hey.
awesome. I'm going to get straight to it. So, when you were in that moment of, okay, I lost my train of thought, like, so I'm trying to get better at hosting and having these type of conversations and really like, digging deep on topics that are sometimes difficult to talk about. What in that moment got you to the next moment of like, okay, I've got it, I'm going back into it? I really want to know like what your process was in your mind. I loved how you like asked for like, hey, Brendan, come on and like, pick it up. But like after that, how did you get through that?
Thank you. I love this question. In real time things. So here's the thing. I let go a long time ago being perfect. Like I just let it go. I was a born perfectionist. I don't know if you are one, but like 100%, I was absolutely perfectionist. I was the person behind the scenes for years and years and years building impact theory. And every episode that ever went out, every single episode, I would watch at least twice all the way through with my paper cut. And I was like, oh my God, he blinked here. You can't show him blink. Like that type of thing. It's like, oh, and when, you could see that the guest was a little horrified by Tom swearing. You can't show that, right? So I am OCD like that. And then when I realized it was holding me back.
Yeah.
Right? It was like, I could have stayed there. And going back to the no bullshit, what do you actually want in life? Right? I started to realize what I wanted. And I said, what's the no BS that's holding me back? It's the fact that I'm obsessed. It's the fact that I've watched this video twice all the way through and I'm bloody making notes about blinks. Like, right? It's that. It's kind of making sure that you're asking yourself the question and not attaching yourself to it. So once I told myself that, then I went to the next step. Okay, what do I actually want to be the best in the world at? Like, what do I want to put my time and energy into doing? And it is impacting women. It really is. And so to me, it's impacting women that are adults and that have to do the unwiring like I have done. And it is impacting young kids. And so in order for me to do that, I have to get on camera. Like I was never the person, you could have asked, I never wanted to be on camera, ever, ever, ever. And Tom was like, come on, babe, come on. Like people keep asking who my wife is. Don't worry, I've got your back. I'm your safety net. And then I started to realize, okay, well, what's my goal? Am I actually acting in line with my goal? And so if the answer is no, I don't feel badly and go, cool. Do you want to change your goal, Lisa? No, I don't want to change my goal. Then freaking step the F up, right? It's like, you kind of just ask yourself the questions. And so when it came to what I actually want to do in life, I actually want to impact people. Like I could live a life, thankfully, I'm very fortunate that Quest succeeded. So I could live a life where I just do nothing on what I literally sit in front and watch. I said to you, my selfish entertainment is to sit and watch the Real Housewives and pluck my eyebrows. It's like, I could do that every single day for the rest of my life, but that isn't fulfilling to me. So now I go, what is fulfilling? Impacting women. So when Brendan asks me, hey, Lisa, will you come on? And I get that imposter syndrome is the key word that everyone seems to be using right now. I'm not sure I like it, so I just want to say that, but you get the message. Right. All of that comes up, all of the negativity, all of the you're not good enough, what if you mess up? And it's like, okay, well, what if I mess up? Am I willing to do I want to be the best in the world? And am I willing to put in the reps? Put in the reps. It's like the gym. I love the gym. In order to get muscles, I have to put in the reps. In order to get muscles, I have to turn up every single morning, even when I don't feel like it. So going back to your question, to this, it's like, all right, well, I messed up. I forgot. Like, what am I going to do? I can let it stop me, or I can reach out for help. And I can be the person that I honestly want every woman to be, in the sense of don't be afraid to ask for help. We've told ourselves we need to know everything. We have to be on our share all the time. And if you ask for help, that it means that you're less than. I just had to get over it. And so those are the little things where I was like, okay, I'm going to ask for help. In that moment, the truth is I had two choices. Completely freeze, and now what? You guys are standing there going, did her internet go out? Right? Or I can say, you know what, guys, this is part of my process. I've actually lost my train of thought. I got so excited, because it was all true. I got so excited about what I was saying, I completely even forgot where I started. And now here's the thing. it probably, in hindsight, and this is what I remind myself all the time, it probably made you guys like me more, which I didn't even mean to. But the reason why I say that is because you go, oh, she's human. Oh, she completely forgets. And that's important to me. I need you guys to see that I'm human. I need you guys to see that I mess up a lot, in order so that you guys go, wow, there isn't a magic source that you either have or you don't. And so I lean into it. Every time I get that impulse to like run away from it, like, oh my God, you can't say that you forgot. It's like, no, yes, you can. And I did it. I put this one last thing, and then I'll go on to the next question. But you know, Radhi Shetty, Jay Shetty's wife, she came on Women of Impact. I was one of the first people to ever interview her. This is way before she ever got in front of the camera. And I literally, day after day, I was bugging her. Come on, girl, you got this. Don't worry. Who cares about the cameras? I'm your safety net. Don't stress. So she finally comes on. So imagine I put all this time and effort into convincing her. She comes on. We do the shoot. It's freaking fire. She leaves. My team comes up to me and they're like, Lisa, I'm like, what? Like, the audio stopped recording after 30 minutes. Now, here's the thing. To put it in perspective, at this point, I've already built Quest. Our content probably has already, at this point, got over 500 million views. And I still have a production where we still fail to record a whole interview. Now, what do? I'm so freaking embarrassed. I'm like, oh my God, people are going to think like, see, like she hasn't got her shit together. They're going to judge me. They're never going to watch me again. So I came up with all these ways to hide the flaw. So I was like, all right, what we're going to do is we're going to fade out, and then we're just going to put my voice over it going, thank you so much for watching. We're going to put the end card. No one will ever notice. So I get on set, we're about to record, and literally as we press record, I'm like, no, this isn't authentic. I'm trying to cover something up. But going back to my goal, guys, when we talk about focus and discipline and everything, I go back to my goal. I actually want to impact women with the no BS of this is what it takes. So if I'm afraid to hide a flaw, how the hell can I show up tomorrow and tell this person to be authentically them? So if you literally go back, guys, watch the very first interview I ever did with Radhi. I told my team to leave the room. And I just went straight to camera and I'm like, guys, I messed up. You've only got 30 minutes of this interview. The other half is God knows where because it didn't record. So this is how I dealt with it. This is why I'm showing up. This is why I'm telling you. And in order for me to own my mistake, I've now come up with a plan B and a plan C so that we never have this problem again. But that is how you show up. And just like when I even said to you, girl, like you probably like me more now because I made that error. You nodded. So why can't we accept that with ourselves? Like, guys, why can we not accept? We can accept it in me, right? You can accept that I froze and completely forgot what I was saying, but yet we think we have to always come up perfect. So if nothing else from this, let's do that as a clip. Brendan, I'm going to clip that me messing up and I'm going to send it to everyone here and be like, every time you guys feel badly about yourself, just remind yourself that we all mess up.
Love it. Love it. Such a great question, Alexis. It's such a good answer. And honestly, I think another, just to give you props, Lisa, is you didn't hurry. So when she got stuck, she didn't hurry to resolve it. She was like, oh, I don't know where I'm at. Can you guys help me? Brendan, you still there? And she waited. And I think what happens with a lot of people is when they get nervous, they also get in a hurry. And now the nervousness, if you add hurry to nervousness, you have anxiety, right? Now it's an entirely different level of discomfort when you layer hurry onto something. And she was just jamming with it. She just hung and chill. I think that was so cool. So cool. Thank you, Alexis. Awesome question.
This is Shannon. I'm so glad I got called on because I have to just tell you, I just got laid off from a big retailer and I was in the beauty division. And I was there when I think you approached our company. But anyway, it was an interesting experience. Beauty is definitely a special snowflake, different animal. Anyway, I've been laid off, and at first it was devastating, probably one of the biggest career rejections in my life. But since then, I've turned it around, and really am looking forward to doing an entrepreneurial thing, but I'm terrified of the rejection. So thanks for your insight. My question is how do you find kind of mentors or supporters to help you GrowthDay is amazing, but to support you in a journey that you may be going on that your kind of peer group or people you hang out with aren't really into?
Yeah. Such a good question. And thank you, Shannon. And I can tell you right away that even though you're talking about your fear around rejection and everything else, in the last, minute or two of your question, the time you lit up, the one time you lit up literally was when you said you're starting an entrepreneurial journey. And I think just want to call this out, that was really cool to see and to observe, right? Because usually when you see someone else light up about something, that's kind of when they're in their truth or their calling or something that feels maybe congruent with the path they're supposed to be on. So just to call that out, that was really fun to see. And if you watch back this GrowthDay coaching session, I want you to look for that moment, like when your eyes lit up, okay? And remember that moment on the hard days when you're not feeling your eyes lighting up. Remember that moment, because you're going to need to remember it a lot. So here's the thing. Your question is something I think probably, I'm going to guess 98% maybe of the GrowthDay community that's with us live right now has experienced, right? When we have friends and family around us that love us, but no interest in the stuff that interests us, or maybe no ability or capacity really to be supportive in the ways that we might need. And the first thing I just want to say is that that's okay, and that that's very normal and very common. The journey I had to go on in my life was learning that some of my friends and family who I love dearly, who didn't believe in my ideas or didn't think it was the right decision for me to leave, TV news and start this thing from scratch, or whatever it might be, or just thought, oh, are you really a real author, or all the things, right? I've had to learn that it's really they have a different capacity to love and to dream and to support and to encourage than maybe that I do, or that I need around me, right? And so the first thing I want to say is, when you do have this experience, which I think so many of us have, and maybe some other people need to think about it this way too, I've had to flip my own mindset around how I feel when I don't get the kind of support or encouragement or interest from some of my friends and family who I love when I'm going after a dream or a goal or whatever it might be. And I've had to flip my mindset and realize, like, oh, it's not personal to me. It's not that they don't want to support me. They just have a totally different capacity to dream or to go after things. And that's okay, right? That's okay. And so, what I've done, and what I think is really important, I talk about this in Believe It as well, is this idea of controlling your microphone and who you hand it to. And what I mean by that is, when we love our friends and family, I would, for a while, just really make sure you're right about this. But if they're not maybe supportive in the ways that you need, or you feel them almost talking you out of your hopes or dreams, or lowering your vibration, or saying things that start to turn into self-doubt, I think that you take the microphone back from them on that topic, on the things around your new entrepreneurial journey. And you talk to them about everything else and, what's for dinner and all those things. And then really start working on curating people around you that you do hand your microphone to on this entrepreneurial journey. The GrowthDay community certainly certainly one of them. The coaches in here, yes. The people around you, right? I would encourage you. And you know, I did this in my own life, and I did it later in life as I really realized that the path I'm on, I needed to also surround myself with other people that kind of understood, or that dreamed big also, or believed big also, and were non-judgmental and all the things, right? Because when we're entrepreneurs, it feels like we're trying so hard to fly. And, you know, the first few years of most entrepreneurs' journeys, and sometimes it's the first decade, you feel like you're trying so hard to fly. And when you have people that feel like lead balloons attached to your wings, you can't take them on that part of your flight. You can still love them, but a lot of people get taken down by lead balloons. I don't know why that analogy just came to me, but I think it's really important, right? So I just want to encourage you. There's, you know, a lot of entrepreneurship communities out there as well, that are just free online, people you can meet. But the GrowthDay community, I really believe if I could curate any community for you, it would be the GrowthDay community, because everyone here is like-minded and believes bigger and probably shares in common with you that maybe their friends and family aren't either, you know, don't have the capacity to even know how to support them with something like an entrepreneurial journey, because you are one of the courageous and brave few. I'm excited for you, and I'm mostly excited for you because I saw the spark in your eye when you said that. That was the one moment, the whole conversation. It didn't come up when you were talking about the retailer. It didn't come up when you were talking about the beauty industry. It literally, the moment you said that. So go back and watch that, because I think that was a really special moment, and hopefully this is helpful.
Thanks. Well, I just got your book, so I'll definitely crack that open too.
Okay, Shannon,
Thanks.
when you read it, don't let parts of it scare you about the entrepreneur journey, because I share it all. But I hope it helps you, and I hope that really it helps. I tried to share all the real stuff that if I heard these kind of stories that other people went through, I'd feel less alone and more enough and more right on the journey. So that's my hope and prayer for you too. So I'm
Thanks so
excited
much
for you, Shannon. Yeah.
Hey there.
Hi, that was amazing. Thank you so much. Especially number 3. I have some friends that I've known for a long time, and I've struggled with them in the last year as they go more and more, let's call it alt-right. And I find it quite hard. So this has been really good. But my question is, so I can see how I can do this on my side. But what do you suggest when you're sitting at a table in a restaurant with a whole bunch of people that they have these alt-right beliefs, and their whole conversation is kind of driven and clouded by it, and you know, and quite sometimes quite derogatory as well. It's you know, it's like, I mean, okay, yes, you could find yourself talking about gardening and growing food and art, and it's great. And then someone will say, oh yeah, liberal lefties, or you know, snowflakes, or refugees, or whatever. All for me, all the trigger points. And I'm sitting there trying to think, yeah, I know, but you love art, so you know, let's talk about that. But they just don't. Do you see what I mean? Any suggestions?
I completely see what you mean. And no matter where you fall on whatever issue is dear in your heart, these are the things that we're all grappling with right now in a very deep and profound and personal way. And I default to an uncomfortable answer, which is that we always want to know how we can change other people, how we can change their minds, how we can change their opinions and their perception of ideas and beliefs and of the moment. And sometimes we're thinking, you know, why don't you just see the world the way that I see it? Yeah, there's a much bigger conversation about persuasion here and about a process of conversation. And there are all sorts of conversational skills if you are truly vested in the process of trying to understand another human being and then move them to a different point of view. And I think, maybe at some point that's a topic we'll explore together. But I think, in a shorter term, in the scenario that you're describing, the question is, like, how can I be comfortable in this moment? How can I find the one person where we really do have this values level connection and really just focus my conversation around them? And then if you keep showing up in these moments or in these conversations or with people where you find that it is actually toxic and not changing in any meaningful way, and you are not able to create that tether, then, as I said, before, there may be scenarios where you have to just temporarily pull back a little bit, or change the people, that you're interacting with. It's a very individual, issue. And this is why I said, like, this is a massively wicked problem right now. And I honestly don't have really good answers. But what I do know is that when I consistently try and go back to seeing the shared humanity and to shared values, it allows me more space to be in conversation and to hold relationships that I might just feel like I'm done with and walk away from sacred, and not necessarily lean into them and embrace them on a level where I just want to immerse myself in them, but at least keep them at a level where it's like on a slow burn. And over time, knowing that things may come full circle. So I know that's not the most satisfying answer in the world, but that's sort of where my thoughts are on the topic right now.
Yeah, that makes sense. Thank you so much.
Yeah, my pleasure.
This can be your day for personal growth. This can be that day you committed to and you remember, you go, that was the day I got myself a community. I got better coaches. I committed to making my life the absolute best that I could. This is that day. Make today your growth day. Click the button on this page and sign up right now.